Hey everybody, welcome back for another exciting episode of Analog Out. I've got my co-host here, Bowman. How you been, buddy?
Great, man. Glad to be back. We had a little bit of a break here, but we're back.
We got Cody Casual all the way from Texas. He's no longer here anymore. Bye-bye.
I'm back in my homeland.
My name's Pat, and we're here to talk about some games,
Mm.
some gaming news, and also some movie news. We got some movies coming out here. So let's go right into it. This is the big announcement here. This is a weird one, actually. Metroid Prime 4 restarting from scratch. Nintendo came out. They released a video being very transparent, almost unusually so, where they essentially said, hey, we didn't like the way that the game was going, so we scrapped everything and are starting from scratch back with our old pals Retro Studios, the people who did the first 3 games.
Please understand.
Yeah, essentially. I think he actually said that in the video, too. So, yeah, Bowman, give us some thoughts here.
I think it's many thoughts come to my mind. First off, I just appreciate that they care enough about this game and franchise to actually really want a good game to come out.
They didn't just shit it out.
Yeah, because they easily could have just shit the bed on this one and just put it out. People would have bought it because it's
And then it probably would have killed the franchise.
And it probably would have killed the franchise, just like how they did to Star Fox. So I think that I was telling you, I think they realized that releasing bad games does have consequences for their major franchises, like especially ones that haven't been touched in a long time. So it's good. On the other hand, I just go, why didn't they contact Retro Studios to begin with?
Right, exactly.
So that's another thought that comes to my mind.
Weren't they kind of earmarked to be working on that anyways? I remember reading articles a while back.
Everyone,
what's the big project that Retro Studios is working on, and everybody just assumed it was Metroid.
Right, everybody assumed it, and everyone was wrong. And when they announced that it wasn't Retro Studios making it, it was kind of just like, what?
Well, hopefully that means they're working on that next 3D DK adventure.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I would assume there's some sort of tropical freeze follow up in the works.
Get another jungle rap.
That'd be nice. But yeah, overall, people didn't seem to be that upset. Of course, you have some people that were upset, but the general consensus seemed to be, okay, cool. Like, all right, I'm glad that you did that instead of releasing a mediocre game. And that's kind of where I'm at on it too.
Well, they kept delaying Breath of the Wild, and we all know how well that turned out. So
yeah, exactly.
That's a proven method for creating Nintendo first-party game quality over, I guess, rushing it out and just kind of. Is Metroid a cash cow? Was it ever?
No.
You know me. I'm not a big fan, but from what I understand, it's kind of a niche thing. It's not like a huge priority.
It isn't. It's not. It's one of their least popular franchises. So they kind of have to knock it out of the park if they want to make any kind of profit on it. And it's a low selling. It's like one of their lower selling franchises, but at the same time, it's one of their highest budget games because at least Metroid Prime and the first 3 Metroid Primes, they were really polished, high quality single player experiences, and those they didn't come cheap. I mean, Metroid Prime is widely considered to be probably the best GameCube game by many. So, yeah, this is not something that they can sleep on too long, but at least they're starting over. I don't know to what level they're starting over. Are they going to reuse assets, or do they still have the storylines that they want to do, or are they just totally starting from zero?
I wouldn't be surprised if they are starting from zero if Retro Studios is brought in and just went, okay, let's just revamp this entire project from square one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be a long time till we see it. So, I mean, obviously explains the many questions we had where they revealed a logo and then we never saw anything about the game.
Yeah, they definitely goofed there because it was like the one time they made an exception where like, we don't like just showing logos,
Yeah.
but this is coming and we know you're excited for it. And then, of course, the one game they actually do that for, they're like, yeah, we actually aren't. It's not even been developed yet. We're still making it. We haven't started yet. Like,
So
still at ground zero.
no, I wasn't bummed. I wasn't really bummed out about it. I do hope that they decide to release the trilogy. I
Hmm.
think a lot of people were commenting on this too. Every few comments I saw were people going, "All right, well, let's give us a trilogy then."
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
remember I tried to go back a few years ago and play the Wii collection of the 3 Metroid Primes. I don't own it. I think I was at a friend's house or something and he had it. I just remember it being very dark and looking soupy. And I'm sure that's just, a consequence of the era of gaming. And, if you didn't experience it in that time frame, it's always gonna look graphically weak when you go back, especially for, you know, that period of time where Nintendo hadn't even reached HD graphics yet, and we're still pumping out, games with 480p max. And yeah, I mean, if they re-release it in HD, I would probably finally give the trilogy the chance that it deserves. I mean, I uh, I've played through probably a quarter of Super Metroid, and I like it. I've just never, buckled down and beat it. And I attempted to go back and play the original the other day, and I was like very frustrated with it. And I was messaging Pat, and he was just like, "Yeah, it's kind of widely regarded to be outdated and kind of trash. So don't worry
the Game
about it."
Boy Advance like remake is the one people really should play.
Metroid Zero
Metroid
Mission.
Zero is it's just a remake of the NES one, and the NES one. The problem with it is that it's got a lot of problems that like Zelda 2 has, where everything kind of looks similar.
Everything's similar. A lot of the stuff is really obtuse.
So you really have to. It's near impossible to play that game without a strategy guide, or at the very least, you need to have like a notepad out, and you need to
You need
be
to be drawing your own map.
Right.
you have to
Yeah,
have it mapped
I
out.
was playing it. I was playing it for a good 45 minutes and just felt like I was getting absolutely nowhere. And with all the games that I have and all my other endeavors, I don't have the time for that. So, I mean, yeah, maybe I'll check it because I just got a GBA, as I've mentioned way too much to you guys recently. So maybe I'll check that one out. And as far as the Prime goes, if they don't release it in HD, maybe one day I'll get around to it. I'm not a big FPS guy, so I don't know how well it'll translate.
It's
But
not a real. It's not really an FPS. It's more of like a platformer, because they use. It's not like a twin stick shooter. It's like they use a lock on thing. So you're mostly just platforming,
oh,
and then
okay.
when there's an enemy, you hold the shoulder button and it just locks on to the nearest enemy and you kill
Are
them that
there
way. The
are there
first,
puzzles? Is it puzzle based?
yes, yeah.
It's a lot of puzzles and exploration is like the main theme of the
Okay,
game.
I remember playing a little bit of it, and it was
Coco.
I don't know. I felt underwhelmed, but
I think
I'll
it's
give it a
possible
chance.
that you just played two or three, since it was a trilogy. The first one, as far as not being HD or whatever, the first one still looks really good on GameCube. Like the art direction and stuff looks. I mean, it was like the best looking game on the system when it came out, and it definitely holds that up to this point. So